Welcome back to the Developer Odyssey. This is episode number 2, entitled Choose Your Own Adventure. Now, if this is the first video that you're seeing in this series, I've put a link to the playlist down below, so I would recommend that you go back and start at the beginning so that you don't miss anything along the way. But of course, certainly feel free to jump around if you would like to find specific topics that you're interested in. So why is this entitled Choose Your Own Adventure? Well, if you're like me, I'm a fan of fiction. I like watching movies. I like reading books, fiction books specifically. And along the way, when I was a kid, I found these books called Choose Your Own Adventure books. And it was interesting because you would read through the story and it would give you a choice, and you would have to make a choice for the character that you're following along in the story. And depending on the choice that you made, it would tell you what page to go to next to see what would happen in the story. And sometimes if you made the wrong choices, you would end up killing the character in the story. It doesn't always end well in those Choose Your Own Adventure books. Well, kind of like those Choose Your Own Adventure books, getting into software development is really it's kind of like that. There's lots of different choices that you can make. And even though when you look at a lot of the things online, you might see people pushing certain aspects of this world, I want you to understand that you don't have to follow somebody else's design for your career path. There's lots of different ways that you can see this happen. There's career paths that are made by employers. They want you to follow a certain career path, a certain corporate ladder, so to speak. There's different boot camps that want you to learn a specific thing because that's what they can get teachers for, or that's what they're good at teaching. And there might just be a tutorial series that you're doing on YouTube. Maybe you're going through that wants you to follow a specific path. And really, at the end of the day, I have found most people are successful when they have information and they can plan out their own adventure. They can choose their own developer odyssey. They can make their own story, because if you have the right information, you can choose the things that you're interested in and not just follow down someone else's path. You see this happen a lot, especially when it comes to the different types of training nowadays. And I just want to show you a few of those and kind of how that's laid out and how it kind of forces you down a certain path. These are just a few examples that I have here. And the first one here is Udemy. So this would just be an online course company. Obviously, this is just one course, but as you can see, it says the complete 2023 web development bootcamp. All right. So according to them, this is complete. This is everything that you need to know to become a web developer. So it says become a full stack web developer with just one course, right? They've got the plan, and it's HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node, React, PostgreSQL, Web3, and dApps. I'll be honest with you, that's a lot of information to try to squeeze into one course. But they seem to have at least thought that they've perfected it. So if you go down here, you're going to see all the different things, all the different lectures, and we've got even 34 more sections. Man, that's a lot of sections. This is a massive course. All right. And the problem with something like this is you're just kind of learning it on your own, going step by step through it. There might be like a forum or something like that to give you some help along the way and answer some questions. But this is a lot of information to just kind of learn on your own. It says 62 plus hours. This sounds like it's giving you everything. In fact, when you look at all the things that it's giving you a lot. That's certainly the case. It's definitely giving you a lot of information. But here's the problem. This is assuming a specific path. There's actually a lot of other web development languages and frameworks and things like that that you could be pursuing that are not part of this. So to say that this is a complete web development bootcamp isn't really accurate. It's complete in the sense that it'll give you everything that you need to go down this path, but you're kind of stuck with just this path until you decide that you want to learn something else. Now, this is Coding Dojo. This is an online course, but this one is a little bit more of a classroom style teaching. You're going to have a little bit more interaction. It's just not just a Udemy course that you just watch a bunch of videos. This oftentimes we'll have a live trainer, a live teacher in the process. So they're definitely putting a little bit more effort live into this process here. But I just wanted to scroll down here and again show you it's the same kind of problem here, right? If you sign up for their course, you're going to learn these programming basics. You're going to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, GitHub, HTTP response, blah, 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 right? You're going down this path. They've defined for you the path that they think you should go down. Now, does this mean this is a bad path? No, it certainly doesn't mean that this is a bad path. That's not what I am saying at all. What I'm saying is this is a path that they have designed that they think that you should go down, and it doesn't take into account all the things that we're going to talk about that you could be pursuing, that you could be turning into your career along the way. This is just a third example. Actually, this is one of my favorite tutorial developers on YouTube. So I'm certainly not knocking Traversy Media. In fact, I think if you're interested in being a software developer, you should absolutely check out this channel. He's one of my favorites. He's one of the best. He just does a really good job. He's very knowledgeable, has all kinds of different things. But again, if you go to his channel and you go down there and you look, okay, I want to be a web developer, right? So programming web development crash courses. So he's going to go through and give you different courses that he thinks should be part of your journey. And so that's really my goal. My goal with this series is not to say, hey, this is the path that you need to go down. Rather, I want to give you all those different questions. I want to give you the opportunity to take your journey down the path that you want to take by giving you the information that's going to help you really move in the direction that you want to move. But why is it so important to me that you get to choose your own adventure? Why shouldn't we just have somebody tell us this is exactly what you need to do? Well, at the end of the day, the answer is that everyone is different. And we need to recognize that everyone is different and recognize that one singular path, even if it's the same goal, the singular path for everybody just isn't how it actually works in life. And it just isn't the best option for most people. See, everyone who gets into development gets into it from totally different backgrounds. I was just recently talking to a coworker and they were telling me how they got into development. They actually started writing code as a kid just because they were interested in it. I certainly didn't do that. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't do that, but it was kind of an interesting path that they took, a journey that they took, a background that they had to get into the development world. And we need to understand that everyone's going to come from a different background. We're going to come from a different industry. Many of you probably are moving from one industry to another industry, maybe completely opposite different things that have nothing to do with each other. And you're moving from one type of job to trying to get into the coding world. Maybe it's going from the military to going to writing code, or maybe you're a trash collector and you want to start writing code. Maybe you're a math professor and you need to make more money, and so writing code makes sense to be able to jump into. Lots of different backgrounds that we all come to, and because we all have lots of different backgrounds, we have different levels of abilities. We have different levels of ability to learn new things. Some people learn things faster than others. Some people learn things maybe in a little different way. They need to have things explained to them differently than other people do. Some people can just watch a bunch of videos and learn stuff. Some people need somebody right there to answer questions. So the process of how we learn is different. Our backgrounds are different. The process of how we learn is different. And then we have to realize that everyone has different goals. For example, somebody may be getting into software development so that they can make more money. Somebody may be looking to try to get the opportunity to work from home where they can't do that in their current industry, or just have some more flexibility in their time. There's just a lot of different reasons why people come into this development community. And depending on your goals, you may want to take a different path, a different journey, a different adventure to get to that goal. You may be a little bit more direct than somebody else will be because they have a different goal than you, or maybe you just have different priorities. Maybe you've got a family that you need to take care of, and so you don't have as much time that you can spend learning certain things. You've got to really figure out how to do that with a limited amount of time. So that's going to change the journey that you're on. It's going to make you make different choices along your adventure to becoming a developer. And so different goals, different priorities, different backgrounds, all of these things really play into the reality that everyone comes to this with a different journey. No matter whether you went to the same boot camp and then ended up in the same job, we are all different and we all have a different path. And we need to not buy into this idea that training is a one-size-fits-all product. Instead, all of us need to have the opportunity to choose our own adventure. And at the end of the day, that's the whole purpose of this series. And I know we haven't really dug into a lot of the information yet. We're just kind of setting up the process, but I hope you understand now why we're doing this series. It's to help you take control of your career and really decide what your adventure is going to be like. You are the one who makes your developer Odyssey. You can't have my Odyssey and I can't have your Odyssey. We have our own adventures to run, and I want to help guide you. I want to help provide the information that you need so that you can make the choices to make your adventure the best that it can be. Hopefully you're finding this series helpful so far, and hopefully you'll find it even more helpful as we really start to get into more and more information. But if you do find it helpful, can you hit the like button so that we can get this video out to more people who are trying to figure out if software development is the right path for them, or maybe they've started their journey already, but they need some help in making decisions. We want to get this out to as many people as possible. So if you'd hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. As always, if you're not subscribed to the Dev Mentor Dave YouTube channel, click the subscribe button so you get notified the next time we post a video, whether it's a standalone video or the next one in this series. Thanks again for spending time with me today, and I look forward to the next video on our series, and I hope you are too, and I'll see you then.